Co-living, co-living, co-living. So many ads these days on co-living. So what exactly is it? Is it really passive income? Something that you have been looking for? Is it something that can really help you retire early? Today we're going to find out, and just a heads up, you're not going to hear too many good things about it. So without further ado, let's get rolling. Hi guys, welcome back. I have a great article to start things rolling. It seems that the author may have been to at least a free preview from an advertisement or from a course that teaches on co-living spaces. Now he starts with saying that WeWork and Just Co are co-working spaces that have been around. Actually, co-living is very similar to it. You're just renting private apartments instead of offices. Next, he'll touch on there are actually in Singapore big institutional players, HMLert, Escort and Figment, just to name a few. I'll touch on it towards the end of this whole discussion. But the whole idea is not about co-living spaces operated by these big boys. It's about DIY, small retail investors investing into this co-living idea. So how does it actually work? A few property gurus have been conducting seminars recently preaching the concept of being an individual co-living operator. Maybe you have just seen an advertisement from it also. Apparently, investing into industrial properties with no stamp duty and partitioning it to rent multiple tenants is no longer sexy. Now when it comes to selling courses, if you can one-up your existing competition, you may have a new appeal to potential students. Those who are again looking for passive income from easy sources. So new is always better, or maybe not. These gurus teach their students to rent a private apartment, refurbish it, and then rent out individual rooms to separate tenants. Essentially, one is subletting a 3-bedder condominium to 3 individual tenants, and they all share the same communal areas. Later, I'll be giving you real, actual numbers, not just theory. The advantages of such a business. The first is that there is no huge capital outlay required. As compared to investing in industrial properties for rental income, the outlay for this is possibly $15,000 to $20,000, and that's to include 2 months of rental deposit, renovation costs, and then some miscellaneous charges like Wi-Fi and utilities. Actually, when I went to dig deeper into this whole concept, I realized that typically it's 3 months of deposit because co-living businesses are looking for 3-year rent. So they have to put 3 months of deposit and quite possibly 1 month of advance rent. But all these are not costs, correct? Deposit and advance rent, you will get it back and they are not lost. But the whole idea is you need to pay money also for renovation to upgrade and more importantly to construct partition. I'll again show you details which you may not be able to find that easily. They preach no stamp duty, which is very debatable, and an ROI of 300%. So how does it actually work? Say for example, you rent a 3-bedder condominium at a good location for $4,000 a month. The guru would advise you to commit a 3-year lease to maximize your return, especially since capital is thrown to refurbish the apartment. Say for example, the going rate for a room is $1,500. You may need to also spend $5,000 to spruce up the place, which includes a fresh coat of paint, fancy furniture, and in this way, you can list your property at $1,800. So $1,800 times 3 rooms, that is $5,400, which means a profit of $1,400 per unit. Personally, I don't think a fresh coat of paint and nice furniture can let you mark up that rent that much actually. I guess a place looking neat and nice is just going to allow you to have more tenants, which will just improve your power to choose the ideal tenant. You imagine that somebody that's renting a particular room is going to be quite price sensitive. That $300 extra is very, very difficult to justify. So again, I do think a nicer place just allows you to choose your own ideal tenant a bit better. But I think the real magic has not yet been mentioned, which is when you do co-living spaces, you're looking to cut out even more rooms for rent, correct? And where can space be cut out? Quite commonly from the living room. So if you were to cut off some space from the living room and eke out another room to rent, does that mean that you have now 4 rooms at $1,500 to get a total rental income of $6,000 per month? And if you are paying out $4,000 for the entire unit, then you make a spread of $2,000. Now this is actually not rocket science. Subleasing has always been around, correct? And you've certainly heard of people getting rich doing subleasing. In fact, a lot of real estate problems come when people start subleasing. So what can go wrong with such a particular business? Co-living institutions offer shared spaces such as gyms, movie screening, as well as cleaning and laundry services. They are the essences of what defines the co-living concept and justifies the price for someone looking for such an experience. Another good point to add is, in addition, the ROI does not factor in agent fees, stamp duties, which usually constitutes half to 1 month of rental fees per year. So it's either you pay an agent to find room tenants for you, or you have to handle it yourself. So by no means is it passive income. The next point, that Singapore's market for room tenants may not be that big after all. In a recent survey by National Youth Council, 97% of unmarried individuals still stay with parents. I went to dig for data. It is indeed true, 95%, 97% of unmarried youths still stay with parents or family members in some form. But when I was thinking about this data, I think youths, we're not too sure how old they are. If we were to use unmarried adults, maybe that number will be slightly less. There may be some unmarried individual adults that have good earning capacity and want to rent a room themselves and live away from their parents. But all in all, I do agree that unmarried adults or youths are definitely the minority of the market, which means also people looking for room rentals are most likely foreigners. With that, let's jump to the next segment whereby I have actual numbers to show you. I found a project, Meraprime. This is the actual layout of a 3-bedroom unit in that condo. I found that there are actually spaces being rented out right now. The master room is asking for $1,690. This comes with an attached toilet. There is next a common room going at $1,390. And then also a premium room with a balcony. This is also going at $1,390. So all in all, if we were to map it out, they are these areas over here. The blue one, $1,690. The green ones, $1,390. All in all, these 3 rooms will fetch the co-living operator $4,470 per month. Is that sufficient for profits or not? Let's dig up on possible rent that they are paying. If they actually secured this unit a couple of years back, they could be paying about $456 per square foot, and that will translate to be about $4,500 to $5,000 per month in terms of rent cost to the owner of the unit. Which means also these 3 rooms are not able to bring in profits yet, right? But this is where the magic really happens. Some space is being partitioned out to form an economy room. This room is going at $1,300. You see over there, there could be a new aircon installed because this is an enclosed room. There's no window for this particular tenant. And if we were to map out now on our floor plan, my guess is this would be the red zone over here. It's actually partitioning out the balcony. This $1,300 is where the profits really come in, because now the total rent revenue that can be collected will be bumped up to $5,770 per month, which equates to $1,000 to $1,200 per month in terms of profits. This again is if all rooms are rented. What if there are any vacant rooms? What if the economy room tenant go out and you can't find a replacement? These are periods that could be losses. Not just that, I think there are other costs to factor in. What about electricity? If there are 4 people turning on aircon, I think the electricity bill could be quite high. What about providing Wi-Fi services or house cleaning? But if you think about it, if you are a co-living operator, maybe these are chargeable services to mark up actually. But what about wear and tear? You certainly cannot call your tenant to replace a bulb that's blown out or a tap that's getting leaky. This again is costs back to the co-living operator, and all these may not have been mentioned in any particular advertisement. So as always, if you have learned something from this research and you want to support the channel, check out the super stickers below. And I've actually got more exciting information for you. What I've discovered is that the going rental rate for the entire unit right now at Meraprime is $7,000. Of course, you could negotiate down a little bit. This rate line is roughly where the economy room is. But the big problem again is right now the asking rate is $7,000 per month. It's not going to be $4,500 or $5,000 per month previously. So how for the co-living operator? Are they going to charge $500 more per room? Will they be able to find tenants at that price range? If they can't, the entire concept starts to fail on itself and profits will soon turn to losses. Right now, news headlines are saying that co-living spaces are in high demand. And my guess is because entire units right now are going at $7,000. There are not that many people who want to rent an entire unit as compared to previously. But if $7,000 rent asking is starting to drop, will tenants gravitate back to the good old days and take the entire unit and invite their own friends to sublease or not? These are questions that we need to ask, especially if you are looking to enter into the particular business. If I were to be going to the business today, I'll be asking myself, why are rooms not priced at $2,000 each? Why is it only $1,390 or $1,690? Is it really that hard to find room tenants who are not that price sensitive? And if I take a $7,000 lease right now and lock myself in for 3 years, will I be able to find tenants that can actually cover my costs or not? Because if I can't, I'm going to fail. And not just that, when I fail, all my sunk cost is lost. And the original landlord is just going to call me to reinstate back all the changes that I've done to the unit itself, and that's going to cost me more money. If you've learned something from this research and you want to support channel, check out the super stickers below. So how do the pros do it? And that's where I actually bring in my sponsor for today. Big players right now are providing real co-living appeal and facilities at that compound. Life at One North is run by Escort Group, which is part of CapitaLand. Be very familiar with what they're doing and what is their price point. Another big boy, Coliving. They've taken the entire building and they have a collection of different room sizes at different locations to fit someone who is an expat that wants a room rental for a short-term period. Not just that, they are also making monies on property price appreciation. As mentioned over here, some properties they purchased previously have risen close to 100% in terms of valuation. They don't just squeeze up margins from room rentals. As mentioned in this article over here, LHN has been making big moves. In February, they paid 80 million for a building and converted the retail and office property to a co-living and retail space. Right now, demand is coming from residential property. In future, when it cools, you bet they can convert the property to a different use again. Or not just that, they can actually master lease it to a competitor co-living operator like HMLert. These articles are from our sponsor today, DH Singapore. If you want to start a business or if you want to invest successfully, reading a lot will definitely help you. You can unlock premium articles like this on the Walt Disney. You can also unlock premium articles like this on CrowdStrike Holdings. These are also listed companies that you may be interested in. DH Singapore has been around for a long time, and for this moment, I've actually a limited offer to share with you. Use my promo code JOSH TES for the H Singapore 15 to get 15% off when you do a 1-year subscription. If you like the bundle of digital access as well as the hard copy magazines, input JOSH TES 15 to enjoy your 15% discount right now. Let's round up the key points for today before you go for a course or before you really start on the co-living business. The first is that the entire co-living business is about managing tenants. And not just one tenant, many tenants. So you need to think very carefully whether it's your cup of tea, and it's definitely not passive income. Number two, there are big boys in the real estate space, co-living, industrial property. Study them very carefully because it gives you insights as to the trends and the profitability of such a particular business. LHN is listed in Singapore. You can actually read their reports and deep dive into numbers before you embark on your journey. Number three, exercise a lot of critical thinking. Read more. That's why I have a magazine subscription for you. Study all the information out there because what Mark Cuban has said is something I'd like to leave you with. Sweat equity is the most valuable equity out there. Know your business and industry better than anyone else in the world. Love what you do or don't do it. With that, I'll sign off on today's discussion. As always, smash the like button if you haven't done so, and check out this previous discussion I have on whether you should buy a REIT or buy industrial properties. Which is better? Check that out. Maybe it will give you some further insights too. With that, I'll sign off on me and see you there. Take care as always. Goodbye.